Ever since I was a child, I've always been somewhat of a wanderer. I know I have thousands of miles under my feet, and nowhere do I enjoy wandering more than here, New Zealand. New Zealand is a place of intrigue and beauty. You can employ any and every positive adjective when trying to describe it, but ultimately, you'll find that there are no words that can do it justice. It's the kind of destination that you just have to see to believe, and even then, you still find yourself rubbing your eyes from time to time in disbelief. Every trip to New Zealand presents a mix of landscapes and cultures that's at once familiar to me, yet quirkily different. The rolling hills and the native bush collude with the irrelevant, easygoing locals to disarm, distract, and delight. Maori culture is potent, and the beaches are world class. And the pavlova? Well, it teases the palate. I love New Zealand. The natives call this land Aotearoa, the land of the long white cloud. It seems that past voyagers of New Zealand were guided during the day by a long white cloud, and at night by a long bright cloud, much like a pillar of fire. Images of New Zealand are dominated by the dramatic scenery of the South Island. But for me, the North is just as beautiful and even more interesting. Many places have majestic mountains, but the North Island is loaded with attractions that are particularly New Zealandy. Most notably is the sheep-covered hills, the dense native bush, and the highly visible Maori culture. In the big cities of Auckland and Wellington, you'll see Kiwi life in all its diversity. And as for the beaches, come anytime, and your own uncrowded slice of sandy paradise awaits your footsteps. Auckland is an amazing city. It's a city of volcanoes, with its extinct cones providing islands of green within a sea of suburbs. It has this powerful hypnotic fascination and is a traveler's paradise, but I love it for what it represents to me. Not necessarily the sights, but the feelings it employs. The weight of history and the power of memory rings loud here and refuses to be silenced by time. It is somewhat an ocean of timelessness where echoes of the past resonate the streets. The first chapters of history of mankind started here in this place. It represents a new beginning, a love affair where the turbulent past and the promising future come together. No doubt that the juices of life freely flow here. Come and stretch forth your hands to the heavens as your feet touches the earth, and you'll step off into the unknown. You'll hear the whisper of spirits from an unseen world welcoming you here to their hidden paradise that only believers can comprehend and the absurd endure. Many say that Paris is the city of love, maybe even Florence and Venice, but Auckland is the city of many lovers. According to its Maori name, Tamaki Makaroa, which means the spouse desired by 100 lovers. All those who saw this place desired it and fought over it for centuries. Those who saw its fertile volcanic slopes, sheltered fishing sites, and access to the greatest waterways in the world desired it. It's hard to imagine a more geographical blessed city. Its two harbors framed with narrow isthmus punctuated by volcanic cones and surrounded by fertile farmland. From any of its numerous vantage points, you'll be surprised how close the Tasman Sea and the Pacific Ocean come to kissing and forming a new island. Whether it's the rugged beauty of the West Coast surf beaches or the glistening Hauraki Gulf and its countless islands, the water is never far away. And within an hour's drive of this city, there is a dense tracts of rainforests, thermal springs, and wildlife reserves. No wonder Auckland is regularly rated as one of the world's top cities for quality of life and livability. The influence of New Zealand's indigenous culture is more keenly felt here in the North Island, where Maori make up a much higher percentage of the population. Across Te Ika a Māori, New Zealand's North Island's Maori name, you'll be more likely to hear the Maori language being spoken, see a Main Street marae, join in a hangi, or catch a festival performance with traditional Maori songs, dancing, and of course, the blood-curdling haka. Venture up and down the North Island and you will realize an authentic Maori experience that will never be forgotten. New Zealand has an intense color palette of one dominant color, green. It is so vivid that it wraps itself around you. There's no boring landscape, no gray or brown. The term green grass is an understatement. It's green one moment, emerald the next, and as the afternoon sun drops, shamrock appears, and soon silver comes knocking. It's one of nature's most remarkable displays. Nowhere else on the face of the earth can there be found such a multitude of variety of natural wonders as a drive through the countryside of New Zealand. The eye of the tourist is arrested, delighted, and startled in turn with grand hillsides flecked with woolly sheep and the bluest of blues and the greenest of greens of everything. New Zealand seems to transport you into a state of suspended disbelief. Her songs are like the wings of your dreams. On her shores your imagination is spontaneous. You can roam with no limitations, fly with the spirits, and paint the sky with your mind's eye. It's a dream place of some sorts where your dreams come true.